All right, so in this instance, I've been riding all day. Stopped at the last store, probably, 30, 40 miles away, whatever. Forgot to get oil. We'll say forgot to get oil. Getting low on gas, and the engine is not doing good because I didn't have oil. Might have cooked the engine. So now, let's just say this is a normal snowmobile trail. Probably the first best thing to do would be, if you're broke down, lift up your hood, as you can see, and then if you're out trying to find a spot to camp out for the night, or you're just not near the sled, somebody's going to come along and they're going to see the sled with the hood up. They're going to know something's wrong, so hopefully they look for you or whatnot. So at this point, you got to start figuring out, do you have service on your phone? And for this scenario, we're going to say we don't have service because we're way up north, Maine somewhere where there's not good service, so you ain't contacting anybody with your phone. So basically, you're stuck at this point, hoping and waiting for somebody. So now it's time to start planning for if you might have to stay the night out here or something like that. So what we're gonna do is, first thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna find a spot near the snowmobile that we can build a fire, and then if we have to, build a shelter just to make it through the night for now, and see what happens. I mean, when you're stranded out in the middle of nowhere, you don't know if anybody's coming or not. You gotta sort of plan ahead. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna build a fire. Once we have a fire, we can plan for other things. All right, as you can see, out where it's open, like where the trail would be, there's pretty deep snow. But if you go off the trail just a little bit, the snow gets a little easier to walk through. So what we're gonna do is, we're not gonna go too far away from the sled, but we're gonna figure out a spot where, if we have to, we can build a shelter. And we'll go through everything that I have in my bag. And everything, like I said, everything I have is what I'd normally have with me if I was out riding. So, I mean, if I was way up north, to be honest with you, I might have a little bit more stuff planned with me and stuff like that. But we're not way up north, and this is just a scenario. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to build a fire right here. So I'm going to smash down all the snow. Now you can hear the plane coming. At this point, I ain't ready to try to signal a plane, but hopefully in an instance where I was lost or stuck and been stranded for a while, a plane like that I could signal with smoke signals. But for now, we're just gonna act like we're not that worried, and we're gonna get a fire going. And just remember, this is just a scenario of me having a little fun. There's probably a lot of things that I won't talk about or won't mention, stuff like that, but we're just having fun, and maybe some of these tips, some of the stuff I do today will help somebody if they get stranded, if they watch the video. Never know. So yeah, back to the fire. I'm just gonna pack it down, and then we're gonna try to go get some dry wood and some stuff to start a fire. So a good thing to always remember, if you're gonna go on a long journey, a long ride, you know, and you're gonna pack a bag, always have some sort of way of starting a fire. I know a lot of people don't smoke and stuff like that, so you wouldn't have a lighter, but having a lighter is good, or flint and steel, you know, magnesium bar, whatnot. My go-to to start fires, I usually do have a lighter wherever I go, multiple lighters, to be honest with you. But is this moss, I call it old man's beard. I really don't know if that's the real name for it, but this stuff right here will start you a fire, especially with a lighter, in no time. And I've talked about this before when I've done these kind of videos, and I am I guess you could say, self-proclaimed professional. Not really a professional, but I've done a lot of this survival stuff, and we're just gonna keep picking it until we get a nice handful. It's always extremely dry. This whole branch is right covered with it. So we're gonna pick a bunch of that, and hopefully that will be enough to get the pile going that I got over there. Also, seen one of these. I can break that off. That's a lot of wood. So we'll go get our fire started, and then we'll go through everything I do have when I'm out snowmobiling. Alright, so I got a little fire pit built, my little moss in the bottom. And I was going to do it over there, but I looked around, it took a second. I mean, there's tons of wood in here that could suffice me throughout the night if needed. And I have a log there that I can clean the snow off when the fire's going, and I can sit near the fire to be warm. And then we're gonna go through my stuff that I have on the sled and in the bag and try to build a shelter and just something that will make us through the night, if anything. And then we can go, if we had to stay through the night, we could go from there and either reinforce our shelter or find a new spot. When you're out in the woods, time is your best friend. I mean, if you freak out, it's going to get you nowhere. So, you know, try not to panic and do one thing at a time. So right now we're going to get this fire going. And like I said, I'm using a lighter because I always have a lighter. But like I said, make sure you have some sort of way of starting a fire when you're out doing things during the winter, because you never know what could happen. So many people out there, oh, I'll be all right, oh, but you never know. So we're gonna see what happens. So once your fire gets going like that, you want to make sure you have wood to sustain the fire. Which I got a bunch around. I'm just going to grab it here in a second. once we get an established fire going, we're going to go through what we have to try to survive if we were going to survive through the night. Okay, so I got the fire going. You know you're going to be stranded. You know you ain't got no service. Luckily, we're going to use like the weather conditions from today. It's not so cold, but you got to prepare for it to be cold. So first thing we're going to do after making sure we got a fire going, because we know we're going to be here for a while, is we're going to take inventory of what we have to work with. So I always have water with me. We got the 2-cycle engine oil, which we're not going to use, but that could come in handy to get a fire going. We got a coffee cup so we can make something to drink, some warm water or something. We'll save the lid too. What else have we got in here? A frozen Propel. I've got 2 bottles of water. Oh, look at that. My last trip out, I bought a Butterfinger. So we got a Butterfinger. What else we got in here? See some Ziploc. Ain't nothing. We got a screwdriver. And spark plugs. And ice. So that's it for what was in there. Okay, so in the bag, see if I can wrap you guys around the handlebar. So inside this bag, see what you guys can see here. I always bring freeze-dried food, which you guys know this. I always have freeze-dried food. This is smothered beef and onions, freeze-dried in 1 of 23. So I have food. I always have food. If I'm going somewhere on my snowmobile, I'm bringing food. Freeze-dried is the best because it's easy to pack in and out. So I have a bag of rotisserie chicken too. That's why I love freeze-dried food. But this is honestly what I would always have with me. My little camp pan. So in my circumstance, I'd be all right for a little while. Make water out of snow. Don't eat snow. I have a little bit of water already. Butterfinger, which will give you sugar and stuff like that to keep you going. Don't just eat that. Just don't eat that at first. You know, try to save that for when you need something. And I also always have toe straps. I have 2 toe straps, which that could come in handy for building. And like I said, I always have multiple lighters. Some of them probably don't even work, but you got a flint. There's no fuel in that one, so obviously why I still have that. And freeze-dried coffee. So I always have something with me. And in here I got an old charger, which could probably use as cordage if we need to. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got an old spoon, which I guess we could use that too. We'll clean that up and then we have a spoon to eat with. And that's it for that pocket. In this pocket, I have a knife, which has cordage. And that is pretty much it for that pocket. It's just garbage. A metal detector. Front pocket has Forestone Mountain. So at least, if anything, we could get bored, we can read something. And if there's water nearby, I do have some fishing lures that are tangled up in my bag, but I'd have plenty of time to get those untangled. So that's what we got to work with. And then if you're stranded for long periods of time, then you can just start using stuff off the snowmobile and stuff like that. So now we're gonna go back to keeping the fire going. So I'll bring you over there and show you that. Now I'm just out here having fun playing around today, but I'm trying to make this scenario so that, you know, maybe it'll help somebody down the road. I'm just keeping it simple and having a little fun. The big thing is to always have wood, and there's plenty of dead wood around, so I gotta grab more. All right, so like I said, I had 2 ratchet straps. So my thought is build a shelter. Now, if you're gonna build a shelter, you don't want, I guess it depends how long you're gonna be there. You know, if you're here and it's already been 3 days, then it'd be worth it to build a better shelter for your own mindset. Just to keep yourself busy, keep yourself warm, you know, and keep your thought pattern going instead of, you know, like I said, freaking out and all that. Because I'm telling you, in a survival situation, freaking out is not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to make things worse. So basically my idea is not to build a big shelter, because I don't know how long I'm going to be here, you know, as far as surviving or waiting for somebody to find me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a small one. I'm going to use this tree and these trees with the straps, and I'm going to build a little place that I can get into to lay down or sleep or stay out of the elements. I'm basically just going to run one of the straps from this tree probably over to that tree, and then the other one over to that tree at an angle. Flatten out all the snow, and then cover it with some fir boughs and make a place where I can sit down and be dry. So first thing we got to do is pack down all the snow, chop a tree limb. Pack the snow in as much as you can under that tree so that the little creepy crawler, squirrels and all that ain't bothering you. All right, and that's the beginning. And then I had this tree here that's going to become firewood. Make sure you keep an eye on your fire. It's okay to burn it down a little bit while you're doing something, so that way you don't have to exert more energy trying to go get more wood until you're ready to be back at your fire. So let me get the straps put up and show you what I'm going to do from that point. Hope you guys are enjoying. Like I said, I'm just playing around, and there's a million different ways that you can build a shelter. Like I said, there's a big tree over there that leaned over already. I could lean sticks up against that and put fir boughs all over it and have even bigger shelter. But I'm building a small shelter in the hopes that somebody will come rescue me. So let's do this. And this is a little off topic from the whole survival situation thing we're doing. This right here is what keeps happening when you use your camera equipment a lot. Things break. So every little bit, that people help me by watching, subscribing, donating, whatever. That's what I use it for. So just wanted to show you that. So back to survival. Just gonna use those straps as something to hold my shelter. And like I said, it's temporary because I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. I could be here for a day, be here for 3 days, could be here a lot longer. You just never know. You never know what you got for equipment. This ratchet strap isn't as long, so we're gonna have to shorten it up. To this tree. So obviously it doesn't want to cooperate. And there. That's the beginning of my shelter. So now I've got to get the bones for the shelter, and then we'll get some fir boughs and a bunch of other stuff. Gotta go grab more firewood, make sure this fire keeps going. All right, so right now it's bare bones, but you can see I took the 2 straps and using a little bit of the environment around it, and you just start. I got some bigger sticks for around the edges, but then you just start getting fir boughs and put them, flip them upside down. They would hang off the tree like this. Flip it upside down, then just start layering them on top of your straps. I shake it a lot, because if it's going to fall, it's going to fall. Like that stick there. That whole side. That'll work. We have to find something better for over there. Bigger stick. You just keep doing this. And then eventually you get enough fir boughs on it and the water will run right off in it mostly. And then we'll put fir boughs in there. So let me continue on this, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, so when you get in the fir boughs, just grab it and they snap right off, and just keep placing them on top of each other like that. And then you grab the whole bundle. And then when you come over, you can see where you got gaps. And I'm telling you, it don't look like much, but if you were going to be out here, don't want to exert a lot of energy, it's probably the best way to do it. And you just lay them on there, just like that. And see, as you do it, they get thicker and thicker. And you will have a shelter in no time. So I'm going to keep doing that and build it all up. And then I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll work on the inside. But basic shelter, that's all this is. Nothing special. There's, like I said, there's a 300 million ways that you can build a shelter. Probably even easier than what I'm doing. But this was me using the straps that I had and the stuff that I would have if I was out snowmobiling. So I'm gonna finish the cabin part of it, and then we'll go inside and see what we can do in there. Fire, I just got some more wood, so we'll let that burn and I shall return. And there it is, folks. I mean, a little bit more filling in, and you got yourself a basic shelter. We'll get you through the night. So we're gonna grab some boughs and fill up the inside of here so we can get in, and then we will see what it looks like from the inside and what we got to fill in. But that's as easy as it gets to build a basic shelter right there. And like I said, I'm just playing, having fun, and I'm not in way trying to show that I'm better than anybody or anything like that. I'm just showing you that you can survive if you have just a little bit of know-how. You can survive. So now I gotta go find some flat fir boughs for the floor. So let me find those and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so as far as flat, this is what I mean. This is pretty flat. You can find them flatter, but if you're gonna lay on it or anything like that, you don't want it to be too bristly. And you just pick it like you're picking boughs for your Christmas tree. Set them off to the side and grab some more. And like I said, if you're stuck, you're stuck. You're already freaking in survival mode, then you got plenty of time to do this. So let me get a big pile. It's gonna take me a minute, and then we will go spread them out in our shelter and try to get as comfortable as possible. So we'll see you then. All right, so we got our fire getting going again. We got our little shelter. We got our little survivor shelter. We gotta seal it up a little better, but we can do that because we're gonna be stranded for a while. So, I mean, yeah. But now, after all that work, I gotta start thinking, man, I just used a lot of energy. Don't want to get dehydrated. So let's start thinking about water. Now I have those 2 bottles of water, but I'd like to try to conserve them. So we're gonna, what would I do if I was actually surviving? Is we got this bottle of water, take a sip of it, and then try to melt down some snow. Which we got our pan for. So gotta get this broken piece off my camera. Alright. Set that on the snowmobile. We gotta boil down some snow. So there's all kinds of stuff on top of it. So we're gonna wipe that away. So we have the cleanest snow we can find. It ain't gonna really matter. I mean, really, because snow goes in layers, and now we're gonna try to boil this down. See you at the fire. As I was building the fire pit, I put a bunch of sticks on, and I shouldn't have. Hoping they would burn. You're gonna get charcoal and ashes in it throughout the process. But that's such as survival. And I got other wood. I'm kind of just saving it. Found that big piece of dry wood, sort of dry wood, I should say. So I figured I'd burn that first. My snow's turning black. Yep, the snow turned black, but I'm going to show you a way to fix that. So, as soon as that melts down, I got to get my coffee cup. We'll get that hot, and I'm going to make some coffee. So this is pretty much survival. I mean, you're pretty much going to have to hang out with yourself. Try to be creative, because being creative really helps. But I mean, I got myself a nice little shelter, a fire, a snowmobile, all my little bit of gear. And if I had to wait, I had to wait, you know. But right now we're just going to work on getting something to drink and some food and restoring our energy levels. And we'll go from there. Just having a little fun. Trying to give a little pointers. Hope you guys are enjoying. Alright, so this right here, I have no idea if this will work, but I'm thinking it will work as a snow filter to filter out all that junk that got in our water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pour it in here, and we're going to hope it pours out the other side and into my cup. Not working quite like I thought it was gonna. All right. Just happened to so be. All right, try it again. So, in order for this to work, I think you're gonna have to have cold water, not hot. So let's try it again with the cold water, now that we've run it through the snow. I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm doing or not. Should be able to see now. Like I said, I don't even know if this will work. All right, so the first part of our food and drink is some freeze-dried coffee. Set you over here, and we got a little bit of floaties and stuff in there, but I really don't care at this point. That's about half. Make us some really dark coffee. Save the other half for later if we want more coffee. And then we just wait for that water to heat up. And it's looking like it's not going to take much longer. She's warming up quick. This is our woodland coffee with all of our vitamins and minerals floating around in there. So now we're gonna use our coffee cup that we found in the toolbox on the sled. All right, we're gonna pour the rest into the other pan. Oh, and that's the end of that. I spilled it. But we got our woodland coffee, survival coffee. She's bitter because there's no sugar. But we're gonna drink that and enjoy it. And get this fire built back up and get some food underway. So we'll see how that goes. Yum yum. Let's get this fire going. If I can set my camera up. Coffee so I don't spill it. All right. We gotta get some sticks. All right, so let's grab some more wood over here somewhere. All right, folks, we got ourselves some smothered beef and onions. And our Propel water. It's even grape flavored. And we're gonna start heating that up. And we will just put little sticks up underneath of it. And try to get this thing hot. We're gonna let the meat and onions and everything in that, it's got to soak up the water, and it will turn right back into a nice meal for me. Get some energy back while I'm out here trying to survive. That's why these little tiny pans you can get right at Walmart come in handy, because they don't take up a lot of room, and you can always bring them with you when you're with your gear. So we're just going to get that little fire going up underneath of it, just like that. Keep watching the water level, and we'll stir that in a minute. There's the shelter, fire pit. I really ought to go on one of those shows. They got a new one out. This has nothing, I'm not getting paid to say any of this or anything, so just don't think that. But I watched a show called Extraction, and it was pretty cool. I've seen the show Alone. I've seen all kinds of shows like that. And maybe I should go on one, because I know I have a lot of survival skills. Right now, like I said, I'm just playing today and pretending like we broke down on the old snowmobile and had to survive for the night. I'm sure if I was out here for a lot longer, I'd have to use a lot of other skills and try to find food and all that if I didn't have it and stuff like that. But for today, we're just having a little fun. Smothered beef and onions is really good. Freeze-dried. Big hunks of meat. That's good. So there's lots of ways of signaling. Just remember, you got all kinds of plastic on that snowmobile. You got a fire going. If you're lost for a long period of time, you need to be noticed. Planes going by. Send out that black smoke, because there's a black smoke coming from the middle of nowhere. Somebody's gonna notice. Have a big giant pile of fir boughs all ready to be ignited. That way you don't have to rush to try to get something together. Like I said, you're gonna have plenty of time to think about things and to not be stranded. Like I said, I always bring some freeze-dried food with me, just for one of those moments. You know, if you're gonna go out and do something, be prepared. I hope this video helps a little bit. If people like the video, I'll definitely try to do more in-depth videos. Today I was just been ice fishing and doing everything else, snowmobiling, and I used to do a lot of this, nature and survival, and it's been a long time. So I just wanted to do a video for you. Share a little bit, build a little shelter, eat some food, and we're pretty much done all that. I'm gonna finish eating, and then we're gonna get rescued, and we're gonna get out of here. Been out here for quite a while. Time to go back to civilization. I appreciate everyone. Hope you enjoy the video. I'll show you another little walk around of the cabin. Then we're gonna get this fire out and we're gonna head out of here. Alright, so coming from the snowmobile, this is what the little shelter looks like. There's the entrance. Like I said, it's a pretty cool little spot. Maybe I'll come back down and just do another video on what it would be like to have to stay overnight and sleep in this. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that video, and if I get enough people wanting me to come down and do that, then I will definitely do that. So this is what it looks like inside. And with another hour or two of packing in fir boughs and stuff, that thing would be pretty much waterproof, as long as you do it right. They all got to be going the same way, and I usually flip them upside down. But this is my little fire pit area. It was a fun time. I appreciate y'all, and I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, comment in the comments, like the video, and subscribe, and hit the bell, and let me know in the comments if you'd like me to come down and do an overnight down here. And if you do, then I will plan for it and I will do that. So anyways, on that note, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Keep on naturing. Peace.